Missing something? Because I thought we were supposed to be having this really great economy right now. I got laid off 2 months ago. As of right now, I have 700 resumes out and have maybe talked to a handful of companies. I just seen a video that says you might as well chase your dreams because nobody's getting a job. I thought this was a joke. I thought I was a unique case here. Where's all these billions of dollars in tariffs? Because what is happening? The job market report came out last week and we're down 22,000 jobs. Mind you, I have a college degree. I have many years in real estate. I have 5+ years in construction management, building high rises and multi-million dollar garden style apartments. I've also bartended in Austin and downtown Nashville on Broadway.
You can't get a job as a bartender? Wow. Times are hard, folks. We're going to get into it. Let's finish up with this gentleman right here.
But nobody can get a job. Yet there's thousands of job listings on Indeed and LinkedIn. I swear there's a conspiracy that they're posting the jobs that they're available, but they're not actually hiring.
There are fake listings. Some of these companies, they want their shareholders to think that they're growing, so they're putting help wanted or jobs available when they really are not hiring. And in many cases, they're cost cutting and laying people off, but yet still have jobs available.
Could that be corruption? Especially when it comes to people that invest in their companies? Because one thing I know from business school is that you're going to continue to get funding if your investors think that you're still expanding, thus posting that you have jobs available. Anyway, companies, if you're hiring, please hit me up. I'm in the Cary, North Carolina area, willing to relocate anywhere, hoping to transfer to Charleston because I love Charleston. I was supposed to move there last week. Stuff came up. But screw it. Maybe we just chase the dreams.
I wonder how many companies are going to hit him up for a job with his hat on backwards, wearing the chain. Anyways, we appreciate all the people that put themselves out there, that give their take on the economy. I appreciate your comments down below on this channel. We're all trying to figure this out together. Where's this economy going? I mean, where are we at now? Where we're at now is most people are barely scraping by, just like that last person you heard of, stressed out about can't find a job. And the people with jobs, for the most part, not being paid enough to keep up with the cost of living. Cost of living still rising. And the worst jobs report in many, many months that we saw, many years that we saw last month. And it's only going to get worse, folks, because nothing being done right now is actually going to fix the problem. That's the really scary part. Now, we're going to get into some news later in this video, and I've got some crazy, insane economic news for you. But first, let's hear from a few people giving their takes on various aspects of finance and the economy.
Listen, do not scroll anymore and listen to this TikTok. Things are about to get really hard for us. I don't think we have any idea about how things are about to be. The reason why I can see this, why I know this, why I see it coming into fruition very quickly is because I have an extreme sense of pattern recognition. The one ongoing theme I see through all the social media platforms right now is someone is asking for help with their housing situation. They're about like 2 seconds or like a quarter away from an eviction or being homeless. And you know, it's like one of those things where you just like rather let people do what they want to do because you don't know if they might be YOLOing or whatever, but you want to kind of get the word out too at the same time because it is quite a serious situation. If you have the ability to stock up, you should. If you have the ability to scale back on any of your expenses, you definitely should. If you just racked up on any debt this year, like a new car or a new house, I would be very cautious about the way that I'm moving. With that, I would probably be trying to get extra streams of income because you do not know if your stream of income that you currently have will still be there in the next 6 months to a year. If you were considering getting a house this year, maybe you might want to consider teaming up with someone. Single mothers, you probably maybe need to consider teaming up. If you have friends or best friends, maybe you might want to consider living with each other. You know, maybe you might want to help each other with each other's kids. Now it's going to be a time of community because I'm telling you, we are getting priced out of the market every single day as far as being able to afford homes, to be able to have a decent car note, just to even be able to live. My God. If you're trying to get out of the country, now is a good time to go ahead and do that. You know, it's starting to cool down. You know, do not be afraid to move your kids out of the country. Do not be afraid to leave the United States of America. I promise you, I've done it several times. I've lived in Mexico for 30 days. I've lived in Medellin. I've lived in Colombia, been to Cartagena, all of those things. I've lived in those places. And when I tell you, other countries are so much better than the United States. Do not be afraid to leave. And if you need to leave, don't be afraid to get a loan, to get up out of here to do it, because guess what? Credit does not exist in a lot of other countries, or it really doesn't matter. It really just only matters about your cash flow and what you have on hand. And most times you can go ahead and get into an Airbnb. The only thing I can see that most people are messing up with when they leave out of the country is that they are not keeping up with like the visa rules over there. A lot of countries will allow you to be there for a year. Do your research. Spain, Albania, things like that. Do your research, find out about the visa rules, and get up out of here. If you're going to stay and hunker it down, if you're going to stay, maybe you want to consider scaling back. Maybe you want to sell your home. Maybe you want to be in an RV like me. But whatever you do, please be sound mind and make good decisions financially right now. Don't be out here YOLOing because your YOLO might have you in a tent on a corner somewhere with nowhere to live, for real. And I've said it in other videos and I'll say it again. Just make sure you go get you some pew-pew, okay? Because when it comes down to survival of the fittest and people need to provide for their families and they don't feel like going out there and getting their own, please believe they have no problem coming to take anything from you, okay? Y'all be easy out here. Stay safe. And please get it together.
All right, another warning, folks. She said some very interesting things, a lot of true things. Some things I'm kind of wondering about, like she said, don't be afraid to move out of the country. She's done it several times, but it sounds like she's back. So if it was so great, why did she stay in some countries for only 30 days? That's what I'm wondering about. She also lives in an RV, so she's cutting back, it looks like, or maybe that's the only option she has. Some people do it out of necessity. Other people do it to save money, because if you can live in an RV, hopefully you don't have to pay a bunch of a big fee at a campground or something like that. But if you can stay on someone's property for free, or you have your own land, even better yet. Several ways to cut back, things that she talked about there. People are YOLOing. You only live once. That means they're out there just spending money, having as much fun as possible, running up as much credit, aka debt, as they can, just to have fun. And a lot of people just want to do it because they work hard, but yet they have nothing to show for it. They're not building generational wealth. They're not even saving for retirement. And a lot of people just don't feel good at the end of the work week because they worked so hard and they have nothing to show for it. So what do? They go out and spend money. They go out to the amusement park. They go to the ball game. They go to the clubs, the restaurants, right? That's why you still see so much activity out there, is because people don't have something that they're able to invest in, right? A lot of people don't invest, right? Unfortunately. I couldn't imagine not investing in this economy, because to me, that's the only way to get ahead. And I live in California. It may be different for me than a lot of other people, but to me, investing is essential, and multiple streams of income is essential. Cutting back is essential. I don't really travel that much. I don't go on many vacations myself, and I have a family. We do little things around Southern California, but we're already paying so much to live in California that we try not to do crazy stuff and travel out of the country and things like that. But let's hear from a few other people. People are getting behind, scraping by like never before. The economy's crumbling like never before, burying people under a lot of debt and making people work harder than before, not to get ahead, but just to get by and just to keep a roof over their head. And in some cases, not even a real roof. Sometimes it's a tent. Sometimes it's an RV, which is a roof, but it's not the type of roof that many people would want. But let's hear from a few more people here.
Okay, some new data that just came out is in the super prime segment. So these are people with really good credit. This is typically your 781 to 850 credit score people. So these are the most reliable people in the economy, if you want to call it that. So late repayments over 90 days has jumped 109%. So it's doubled. So 109% year over year. So from a year ago, you now have twice as many people that are good credit people that are defaulting on their credit cards. So the credit card default rate is already climbing. It's really close already to the 2008 levels. But the odd part is it's normally the lower credit score individuals that are leading that. Now you have, this doesn't mean that it's collapsing yet. It just means that you're starting to see the leverage change, where it's not just people with low credit scores. It's also the people that are responsible, that, you know, probably did save and, you know, live within their means, whatever. But I don't know. It's gonna get interesting here.
Yeah, so he's looking at the year-over-year number, and it has went up a lot. I didn't know that it doubled, because 100% increase basically is doubling. I thought that was the delinquency rate. I didn't know it was the default rate. So whatever these people are saying, look it up, check it out yourself. But what he said, I mean, has credibility. I mean, people are getting further behind. The reason people are still out spending money, it goes back to what I said earlier. I don't think people are building long-term wealth. A lot of people are priced out of the housing market, so they're like, whatever, I'm just going to go have fun. I'm going to go on cruises. I'm going to take vacations. I'm going to travel, take road trips. I'm going to go shopping, right? That's why you still see a lot of activity out there, because people don't have anything better to put their money towards. And a lot of these people that you see at the stadiums and at the concerts, etc., who knows, they may be living at home, or they may be retirees. You see a lot of older people at these places now. The baby boomers, things like that. Could that be the bulk of the people that are out there actually spending a lot of money?
My corporate job yesterday. And I think that this is the reality for a lot of Americans right now, and it needs to be shared because I got laid off from my corporate job yesterday. And I think that this is the reality for a lot of Americans right now, and it needs to be shared because America is not doing well right now. We have a 94% prediction rate that the recession is going to come, but yet.
It's funny how people that are employed but still barely scraping by think America's doing well because they think that's success. Barely scraping by, a lot of people think that's success. And it's not until someone loses a job like her. She just talked about, I lost my job, and she's talking about how America's not doing very good. Finally, when people lose their job, then they realize, wait, I don't have enough money to pay this month's bills. And I only just lost my job yesterday. Then people are realizing, wait, maybe this isn't so good. But when you're working a job, when you're making the monthly payments, when you are able to, even barely, but able to make these monthly payments, you think everything's okay because this is how it's supposed to be, right? You're supposed to only have enough money to last till the end of the month. You're supposed to borrow as much money as you can based on how much you make today. Even though you might lose your job tomorrow or next week or next month, you're still borrowing as much money as you can qualify for. Let's continue.
Our frickin' administration hasn't even made the move to actually say that a recession's coming. And let's actually call it what it is, a depression. People can't afford groceries. They can't afford rent.
Depression.
They can't afford buying houses. They can't afford having babies. They can't afford having the kids in general if they already have them. We are not in a good spot, y'all. I know that I'm just a number in a company, but I thought I was okay. You're going to think that you're okay because you've worked there for so long or you have the right experience. Like, you guys, I have an undergraduate in marketing, a master's in business, 6 years of paid social media experience, both on
undergrad, a master's degree, and she got laid off.
A strategist and manager level. I have done people management for at least 3 years. I'm a senior level in my career. And yet, when I was hired to do a senior level role, I was forced into entry level positions. I was doing entry-level work as a senior-level strategist, all while at the same time being asked to reduce my workload with AI, and our team was having layoffs every 3 months. I should have seen it coming. I really should have. But the thing is that it was not something that I saw coming.
Your company's laying off every 3 months and you didn't see it coming. A lot of people think that their job is the exception. Oh, it won't happen to me. I'm more important than somebody else. You know what I mean? People never think that it's going to happen to them.
Because the day before that they laid me off, I was literally talking coverage plans with another employee who was going on leave for months. How am I supposed to sit there and not think that I'm safe in that moment? I just think it's absolutely ridiculous that we live in a world like this where my manager wasn't even the one that fired me, by the way, or laid me off. It was frickin' HR, and they read off a script, but my whole team got laid off. And this is the reality for a lot of Americans right now. My partner is a first responder, so I'm very lucky for the fact that I can be leaning on him for support right now, because luckily his job is secure, thanks to the fact that, number one, his job is essential. And
2-income household. If it wasn't for that, she would be in big trouble.
Number two, he has a union behind him. What I will never understand is why corporate agencies have not unionized. We're not allowed, right? We're not allowed. That's part of it. We'll get fired because at least in this corporate world, they're always going to side on the side of business because that's what's making the government money. This world right now is not supporting people. It is supporting business. You are just a number, unfortunately. So please prepare yourself for shit.
This economy, this system is not supporting people. It's supporting business. That sums it up. That's about right.
Like this. I wish I would have. I wish I'd been applying to other jobs months ago. I just was so dumb to not realize the signs. I want to talk about it. I think people need to talk about it. I think we need to make this more public. We all saw the jobs report. It was awful. Getting laid off on the day that the jobs report goes out, and it's 22,000 instead of 75,000 new jobs. You know how discouraging that is? If you know of anything in the marketing space, let me know. Use my comments as a way in which to maybe trauma dump. I don't care, vent. I'm here for you guys. I can't believe this. And I'm really sorry if you're going through this too.
Folks, this is crazy. People are asking for job leads on the internet while they're posting videos in their t-shirts and in their chains and their hats, right? It's crazy times, folks. But this is what is happening. More people are putting themselves out there. They're frustrated. They're wanting to talk to people about this because they don't have maybe many people that want to talk to it or talk to this. They don't have many people to talk to with their friends and family, right? Some people may not even be interested. But when it happens to you, when you get laid off, you're looking for people to talk to.
Bruh, did we just step back in 2020? Because for the first time in years, there are more people out of work than there are jobs up. They said the job market was strong, right?
Sorry, I got to rewind that. Skip it.
Then there are jobs available. They said the job.
He said more people out of work than jobs available. I think that's right. Let me play
In
that.
years, there are more people out of work than there are jobs available. They said the job market was strong, right? They told us that the companies were hiring, right? They also said that the economy was steady. But that's all a lie. The government report just flipped that all upside down. Everything that I just said that they said was up is down. There are 7 million job openings in the U.S. right now. But there are over 7 million people waiting for jobs to get them. So essentially that means it doesn't matter how hard you grind because you got other people trying to fill out for that same spot. If you have a job right now, keep it. I know the job might stress you out. I know you might hate that job, but do not leave that job. Don't let them fire you for nothing until you get something else that's on the table that's a for sure, definite, possible job for you. Because y'all, it's hard as hell. It's one thing trying to find a job, and then it's another, even with that job, it's not even doing shit to help you for real. It's sad enough that one job.
Nobody believes the numbers anymore, folks. It's spread. It's widespread. Nobody believes the numbers anymore. Even the awful jobs numbers, 22,000 last month. I think it's even worse than that. I would guess maybe 5,000 to 10,000 jobs at the most.
It's not cutting it in this economy, and people can barely get that one job. Are we going into a recession or some shit? Because like I said, the hiring process has slowed down, and now they are laying people off at that. History do always repeat itself, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down below.
History does repeat itself. That's true. The first time since 2021 that there's more unemployed people than there are people. Wait, more unemployed than job openings for the first time since 2021. I did read that. I think he's correct. All right, but folks, let's jump into some news real quick. It's about to get worse. We're possibly looking at a rate cut later this month here in September, and that's going to make prices go up even more. People will be able to borrow more money. They will be able to maybe refinance something at a lower rate and make their payments go down a little bit. And what will they do with that extra money that they're not paying towards that loan because maybe their payment went down? They're probably going to go out and spend it, and that's going to make prices go up even more. But take a look at this, folks. Recent news here. As I've always said here, things are worse than we're being told. U.S. economy worse than thought with 1.2 million fewer jobs. What that means? Oh, that means a rate cut's probably coming later this month. So some people are actually celebrating the bad numbers because now they think that the rate cut is just going to come to the rescue, and it might be a big one. It might be a 0.5 point rate cut. We'll have to see. More recent news here. Microsoft layoffs continue into the 5th consecutive month. So for the last 5 months in a row, layoffs. ConocoPhillips plans large layoffs. Folks, it doesn't stop. The numbers are getting worse. People getting further behind. People are hoping for a rate cut. But that's could be the nail in the coffin, folks. A rate cut now with the price levels and the cost of living where it's at, it's going to make things worse. Will that be the nail in the coffin? Please let me know what you think down in the comments. Let me know what you think about any of these people that we heard from. Are they correct? Anyways, as always, see you in the next video. Thanks for being here. Bye now. Peace.